Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Batsheva and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna make the famous French onion soup with a twist. Let's go. So if you're familiar with the onion soup, it's full of onion, cheese, and then you put a slice of bread and you roast it in the oven. I'm gonna make it a little bit different since we are all about healthy food. I'm gonna add some mushrooms to our onion soup because I think the onions is not enough, and mushrooms are packed in vitamins and they're very good for you, especially in the winter. So I'm gonna also make a broth for the soup. I always add celery and carrot to any soup that I make. So we're gonna start doing the broth and then we're gonna make our soup. To make our vegetable stock, we're gonna use a food processor, and I'm gonna put in 2 stems of celeries, 2 of those. That's normally how much I put every time I make soup. 2 celery, 2 large carrots. Since I don't have large carrots, I use those mini carrots and I put 8 of them. And I also have 2 cloves of garlic. So we're gonna put this in a blender food processor. Which, by the way, you can do it on the stove in a pot. I like to use my Instant Pot blender since it will warm up and make the soup. 2 cloves of garlic, and then we're also going to use the onion peel because we peeled a large onion for this recipe for the onion soup. I'm using the scraps, which is the peel, and I'm going to put them in. Now for our spices, I always like to add some onion powder, so we're going to add a little bit of onion powder and some salt. Not too much since the celery is full of sodium. Celery has a high content of sodium, so go slow on the salt, and some black pepper. All right, now we're gonna fill it up with water. Just enough to cover the vegetables. And we're gonna put it on soup. Now again, if you don't have this kind of food processor that can warm up food, just do it on the stove. You can use either an immersion blender to blend it later or a food processor. Anything you have will work fine. That will take 12 minutes to cook, and we're gonna be right back when this is ready. All right, this is it. Our soup broth is ready. Oh, it's hot. I'm gonna shrink that, and we're gonna start working on the onions and mushrooms. All right, you guys, the next step will be the onions and mushrooms. I would like to talk to you about the mushroom for a minute and explain why I'm adding the mushrooms. So right now I have 2 types of mushrooms. I have the regular brown mushrooms and I have the shiitake mushroom. Now, the shiitake mushroom is one of the very few mushrooms who contain vitamin D. Other than mushrooms, the only source of vitamin D will be the sun. So those are wonderful during the winter when we have less sun. And that's why I love to add mushrooms, and you will see as we keep going with this channel that the French cuisine actually use a lot of mushroom in the cooking. So I will put this aside, and I haven't chopped the onion yet. I would like to show you how I do it. So come closer and I show you. So I already chopped the onion to half, and now if you notice inside you have lines that go this way. So that's the way we're gonna want to cut the onions, not that way, because we want to make long stripes of onion. So gonna take our knife and just as thin as we can. And you guys, that's what you want. You want thin slices of onion. Look at that. Those are beautiful. So you cut your onion to half, then thin slices, and that's it for the onion. All right, you guys, now that our onions and mushrooms are chopped, let's make the soup. Gonna heat up our pot, medium-high heat. We're gonna start with our onions. You just put everything inside. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water. Now for this recipe, we are probably gonna need a little bit more water since we really wanna cook the onions and maybe even let them get brown a little bit. Now a little fact about the white onion that I'm using, it's pretty spicy, meaning it goes to your eyes. So if you're more sensitive, you can try to use shallot instead. The shallot or purple onion, they are a little bit sweeter and less spicy. Now back to our pot. You can see the onion is starting to get some color. And now it will be a good time to add our mushrooms. Mushrooms are naturally packed in water, so they're gonna release the water. Therefore, I'm not adding any water to our onion. And I'm just gonna mix. I'm gonna lower the heat. Since we're making this soup healthy, we are not gonna use any cream or any dairy product. I have some almond milk here, but you can use any milk that you like. You can have oat milk, soya milk. I'm using almond milk because that's what I have. And I'm not putting too much of it because we still have our vegetable broth that we made earlier. And now we're gonna add some nutritional yeast. That will give us the cheesy flavor. And also nutritional yeast have vitamin B12, which is very important. So I'm just gonna fill up a really big spoon, and I will say it's about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. So now this is our soup. It's bubbling since we added the almond milk. And I can already smell the nutritional yeast. It smells wonderful. And now it will be a good time to add our vegetable broth. So I'm going to take a strainer so I can strain it right from the blender. It's very chunky and we don't want the onion peel in there. I'm going to lower the heat. And slowly with my spoon, I'm going to force it in. Look at that. It's all coming down. The flavors are going to be wonderful. All right. So now we're just going to keep doing that until everything is down to the pot. So making your own vegetable broth is a much healthier option and it really tastes much better than the one you can buy in shops. Now I'm really pressing out everything I can. And I'm gonna be left with a little bit of puree, and that's fine. That's all the chunks of the carrot, celery, and the onion peel that we blended together earlier. Alright, that should be enough. Just gonna put this away. Now you guys, look at the beautiful color of our soup. And now it's a good time to taste and see if you like to add some salt and pepper. Now we're gonna let it cook on low heat for another 10 minutes. Alright you guys, now it's been 10 minutes. I'm gonna give it a stir. Okay, you guys have to see. Look at the color. And it smells wonderful. Now let's give it a try. The flavor of the onions and mushroom all together, it's really wonderful. This is a really great soup for this cold winter. You can add a slice of bread to it or just have it as is. And I cannot wait to have it with Sarah for dinner. So I'll see you guys at dinner. Alright, it's time for dinner now. And we're gonna try our mushroom onion soup. Go on, Sarah, tell me what you think.
Delicious.
Yeah, you like it?
Even though I don't like cooked mushrooms, I actually like it this time.
That's nice. It really blends all together, right?
Yeah.
Now, Sarah asked me for a slice of bread to dip in the soup. So she has a toasted bread, and I'm just gonna have my soup like that. If you like this recipe, I hope you're gonna try it and let me know how you liked it. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Yes, and if you're new here, please subscribe to keep watching our awesome, healthy recipes. And until next time, good night.